is an extremely powerful and world-leading survey platform which helps you to build, share, and analyze intuitive and personalized surveys with the help of AI. Its advanced analytics and integrations helps you to take quick actions on the qualitative and quantitative data and effectively collaborate with others. This effective collaboration tooling helps you to be productive without compromising on quality, security, and privacy. So let's quickly see how we can basically make really intuitive and personalized multilingual surveys, right, with a survey builder. To start with, as you can see, there are multiple options to create surveys, right? Be it from template, pre-built template. We are almost like a big library of templates. These templates are broken down into multiple categories. You can go ahead and check these categories like employee engagement, right? Or say, for example, uh, employee preferences or market research, right? There are multiple, and further you can go and search these templates. In case you are already on the platform and you have some other surveys pre-built, then you can basically use to clone surveys. Again, it works, the filter works onto your pre-built surveys as well, right? So you can do that. You can import survey using CSV, Google Forms, and Google Surveys. Uh, or you can request, basically it's an AI driven survey generation, as I had put it into my USP in the beginning, right? AI powered surveys. So you can use it from here. So let's go ahead and make a survey using survey builder from ChatGPT. Let's say, for example, take a test, right? And let's go ahead and ask it or put a subject for it. Maths test for 10th class in India. Number of questions 10. Tenth class or standard could have been anything. Let's see how the AI piece works. The other key point about this platform is that it's a PWA. I am running an installed version on my Mac. Similarly, you can install it onto your mobile phones and all that, right? Even on a Windows. So here's the template which was generated by ChatGPT. Here you can see all these 10 different questions which AI thinks is relevant for a 10th class maths test has been generated. Let's go ahead and select it. So a survey has been built. This survey is in draft form right now. We can change the title, the description. We can have it at these different levels. You can have a page, multiple pages. We can collapse it, expand it, right? These can be moved across. We can edit these questions. You can have weightages because you want to do a test, right? So you can give marks. Marks is driven through weightages. Weightages can also be used for other kind of surveys, right? Where you want to use the weightage logic in, say, for example, evaluating the responses and redirecting the user to a given external page. Use previous answer choices allows you to actually have a formula builder where basically from a previous answer choice, you can show new options here, calculated options. In our case, it's not relevant. Maybe, say, for example, you are building some order form, right, where you want to calculate the total price. In that case, you can use the formula builder. Or say, for example, there's some form which builds up over a period, right? You have age, gender, and all those kind of things. You can use there, maybe, say, for example, you want to calculate the size or weight of something. Say, for example, the cake order form, where user selects a particular kind of a cake flavor. Based on to that, you want to show them the effective size that or the size of the cake they should order. You can use the formula builder to calculate those kind of options. We can simply disable it, right? Sorry, let's go ahead and disable it. Right, so here's how this will look like, and you can show the visibility. You want this question to be visible by default. Mandatory split survey basically means uh, user can retake this survey again, and when they retake, if they choose a different answer choice, this will act as a differentiator in their next survey intake, right? So say this is usually relevant. Say for example, you want to build a common survey wherein you are taking reviews on different products, right? So split survey could be based on product IDs, right? And user can take fill in the survey for different product. They choose one product once, then maybe they choose second product second time. So you can collect multiple responses for different products using the same survey rather than basically multiple surveys. You can change the kind of the question choice, be it single choice, multi-choice, right? You can have drop down, right? So all that is possible. There are different question choices, basically different options for different kind of questions. I won't delve into those. You can clone a survey. This is cloning. Basically, this question would be repeated, right? Like this. The same question copy got created. I'll delete it. You can reorder it. You can move this question to a different page. Say, for example, after I'll move it to this question and save it. So you can see the question moved. This is good for individual movement, but say, for example, you want to just reorder all the questions here and there, which makes better sense to use this, right? So here you can say the complete reordering happened. The form saves automatically. You can add languages. The default language, considering my account is in English, so the default language of the survey would be in English. But once, say, for example, you are a German user, Russian user, we support multiple languages, almost 8 languages. So if you are registering as a user and your default language is one of these, your account would have that as a default language. And when you create a survey, that language would be used to create that survey. But you can anyhow add more languages or remove languages. Say, for example, I add German, right? So the survey would automatically get translated to German. Maybe I don't want to change the default. Default language is the one, if somebody opens this survey, they will see this default language and they can navigate to the other one. Here you can see that the survey automatically translated to the other one. But you can always change it. Say, for example, I go ahead and open this here, and I see German. I can change this as well, right? It's a nice auto translation, helps you to translate it effectively for you, but you can always go ahead and change it. Styling can be at individual level. You can style each and everything, right? Say, for example, one particular question you want to highlight it separately. You can do that with all these styling options at a question level. But if in case you want to style it all together, then there's the styling piece, right? Where you can have your own logo, thumbnail, background, right? You can choose different fonts. You can choose different colors, right? For different things. You can even change the layout page. Paginated is the standard way. Carousel dialog, and then there are other options, show progress bar, right? All these kind of things you can do. On top of that, there are settings wherein basically you can associate the survey to a team. This is only visible if, say, for example, you have teams. In case you don't have any teams, this is not visible. So let's align this to SurveyAnalytica. Category is test, right? Because we created the survey. In case I want to subscribe to notification, I will enable this. Public survey allows me to list this survey publicly. It will get listed automatically to Google search, as well as to our own listing platform where our participants can participate in this particular survey. Track location is useful in case you want to track the location of the participants. Collect offline responses is useful. Say, for example, you want to collect responses from people where there is no internet connectivity, right? So usually you will be taking your mobile phone where this survey would be saved already. You open it, take responses, all those responses would get collected in your device. And once you are in range, right, network range, they will automatically sync. Google measurement ID is useful in case you want to track all these things. Custom variables basically, say for example, you want to personalize this whole thing, or you want to track who participated, right? Say for example, this is a test and I want to publish this test to my 10th class 10th students. So say for example, it could be name, right? Student name, right? And I save this. So in this case, this custom variable would be available. And I can say name, right? Uh, Maybe let's go ahead and keep it this way, right? And maths test. And in the description, I will say name, hello. So these kind of things you can do, right? So basically, once you are done with all these things, there's all this versioning that you can do, whatever changes. With teams, it makes more sense, right? And say, for example, you're collaborating with somebody in your team and they also make change, you can see all the progress and you can roll back to a previous version. Uh, you can also do undo, redo from here itself. You can collaborate outside. Say, for example, you take a single user account, but you are building this survey in collaboration, but you cannot onboard them. You can basically simply add them here. So what these people will do is they will get an email to preview your survey. They would have access. Otherwise, only people who are part of your team can preview this particular survey. But unless you don't have those people and you want to share it with some external folks to give comments onto your surveys, you can add them. Uh, Once they have basically in preview for those people, they will see a comment button here, and they can simply do comments. Here I can, sorry, I used the wrong button. Here you can see that you can just simply translate it or move and check different things. You can preview it in multiple ways. You can also do styling here, right? You can change the layouts and all. Say for example, I go back and use it in English, and I go here and change the layout, say for example, to carousel. So it moves to carousel, it can move to dialogue, right? So things like that, right? So you can show hide all these things. That's pretty much standard, right? So once you are happy with all of this, say for example, I'm not saving this. I will simply go yes, exit. You can publish or you can add restrictions. Uh, if I go back, one thing I forgot to mention is basically you can add rules. Rules is basically the personalization piece. One piece was basically the user custom variables that I showed, right? You can have name and all that shown. Second thing is you can have rules. Say for example, if the answer is 360, right? You show a different question, you go to a page, right? All those kind of things you can do. You can do sorry. So that's very much possible from here itself. Now I go ahead and publish it. Restrictions is you can basically either upload or add restriction. You want, say for example, you're creating this survey for only a particular school class, right? So you can restrict it based on email domain, email location. Registered means you want responses from registered users, so they would need to register, or a mobile phone. So all that you can do here. Uh, 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 Basically, this is a test, so you would want to go to survey results, right? You can design an end page here. This would be shown results a separate piece, which you cannot really design, but rest you can design, right? Thanks for participating in this quiz. All right, congratulations. You can have button CTAs, right, where you want to take the user as well. Basically, it's a completely custom design, and you can save this. Uh, Now you can have a completion message altogether, which is also translated to multiple. You can have a schedule. You can collect feedback on your survey. Say, for example, you are building the survey and you want feedback. That's pretty much possible. Once you are done with all of this, you can simply publish. Publish will turn your survey live. And from here, more or less, you can create a collector. Collectors basically means the actual links on which the survey would be possible. It could be web link. Its email is, say, for example, an email template you can create, and you can register your own email domain to send emails, right? So that's possible. We have a default template which can be used. I have already registered with this email ID, so I can send using this email ID, right? But for other people who have not registered, they will see a button to register or their email ID. You can completely customize this template, right? You can save a template, send, right? So there are standard template, sample template. Standard template is the one basically that is this one, right? And sample template, right? So you can choose or you can build, and once you save it, it will start listing here your templates. And then you can simply send by putting in the email IDs and subject. Web link, as you can see, this link got generated. You can turn it off. If you turn it off, basically, what means is even if people get this email and they click on this link, there won't be any survey for them, right? So basically, they won't be able to participate in the survey. Because you have deactivated. Same goes for web link QR code, right? So QR code allows you to basically modify, download, right? And use it maybe at places, right? You can have it in your class. Maybe in this example, students can simply scan this. You can have background. You can disable response override, which means that in case the same user participates again, usually we take the latest one. But since you don't want, you only want one time participation, you can disable response override. So basically, the same user cannot take it multiple times. Uh, that's basically multiple things. You can register your this survey on Shopify. You can do it on website. Website basically you can choose different things. You can build rules, all of that, right? So that's basically on the survey thing. You can do seamless integrations, where I come to my second USP, which is integrations you can do. These integrations allow you to seamlessly add responses that are collected for this particular survey, take actions basically based on logic, and uh, pass on that particular response to a target. I won't be building anything here because this is computationally expensive, right? I will show you things that are already built. You can either do it from here or you can do it from here. Here it will show it for all the flows or real-time integration that you have built. We call it flows. Here I can pick up, say, for example, one which has some good amount of logic in it, right? So let's build up this one. Uh, so you can name it, right? The trigger is survey response, and you can basically choose a survey which you want to use and on what action you want, right? Create, update, or delete trigger, and you can just keep on adding these conditions and actions. So say, for example, this is the trigger. You have conditions wherein for a particular attribute what you want, right? So vertical is one of the uh, questions or custom variables for this particular survey. This custom variable, if the value is this, right, this is the first condition, or the second condition is this, or you can have an additional condition branch. So these conditions basically act as if-else condition. If this, if else this, if else this, and you can have an else altogether, right, which means false. So all of that is possible. And once you do that, and automatically an action gets associated with a condition, and within that action you can decide what you want to do, right? So here we are actually sending it to Google Sheets. Now what you want to send, you can configure all these fields, right? And within these fields you can have a custom logic. Say for example you want to alter the mobile number, right? And you want to change the field name, what's visible onto the sheet. Once you have that sheet, you can generate headers and all those kind of things. Similarly, there are other kind of flows, right? Here it's Google Sheet. You can have webhook, MailChimp, MyHub. Webhooks can be used for other kind of integrations like Salesforce and all. So we have done a Salesforce integration for one of our customer using webhooks. So that's the integration piece. This is all real time. The moment a response gets triggered, it flows through this flow and passes it, right? As for the teams piece, as I had explained, since we support collaboration, and if you want to work alone on a particular thing, you don't want it to be touched by others within your team, you can lock it. It's once you lock it, it's not editable. You can clone a particular flow. Same goes for all the types, right? Surveys, if you go to survey listing, you'll also see it like this. Uh, so that's the second USP of the solution, the flows that you can do. The other USP is the teams, the collaboration. Part of the collaboration piece I had showcased, right, where you don't go with the teams, but you still want to collaborate. You are a single user account, and you want to collaborate with others. So that's possible using comments and team onboarding. Not sorry, team onboarding, but participant onboarding for previewing your surveys. So here there are multiple teams. You can see once you create a team, this is a test team, right? You can basically have a quota, right, for all the responses that you have applied for as part of your subscription in a month, right? How many you want for this particular team. You can name a team. You can add edit members. You can give different roles to members, right? You can specify a working period that, okay, for only for this particular period. So you need not be worried that, okay, you onboard somebody on your team for some period, like running some particular kind of campaigns or surveys. And you need not be worried that, okay, once this ends, you have to go and deboard them. They'll get automatically deboarded. Accepted, active, basically active means this particular user is active. Accepted means once you create this team and add a user, they will get an invite. This accepted shows that, okay, they have accepted it, right? Sometimes, say for example, you will see that people complain, we accepted and it's not working and all that. So it gives you a status that, okay, they really accepted or not. So this way you can okay, and basically you have to give their name, email. All of this is mandatory. What kind of email provider they use, right? The account belongs to which kind of email provider. So if you choose this will in their onboarding experience they will get an SSO, right, or single sign-on kind of, or from these providers. What role you have, right? Admin, surveyor, report manager, or an agent. Agent role is for offline collection, right? So if you onboard a user for agent and you are taking offline responses for your surveys, so they will see this particular survey in their listing, and basically on their mobile device or whatever, they can collect responses. They can travel and collect responses, and basically it will automatically synchronize. Uh, That's part of this the team onboarding, right? Within a team, you can see all the surveys which are there. Since this team is, I just created this team to showcase. Uh, so there are no responses, but say, for example, I pick up this particular one. For every team, you can see how many responses they have collected, right, over a period of time. Uh, so that's all from here. Surveys basically allows you to see all the, it's paginated, right? You can see all that. Finally, the analytics, which is part of surveys. So say, for example, I pick up one of the surveys, like this survey, and we can go to analytics. So analytics is completely intuitive, right? So you can see uh, how people are right responding to your different questions. So few people who are really dissatisfied or average, right? So you can figure it out what kind of users are there and on which days they actually visited your survey, which part sorry yeah which property they visited, right? How they rated rest of the things, right? What kind of comments? So all these surveys, this text based survey responses could be also what do you call sentiment analyzed, right? So when you are building this these kind of questions which are open text, open questions, so you can simply select an option called the sentiment analysis, right? And based on to that, you can do this. So that's all. I'll be stopping the recording.